If you're working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I, Toastmaster Manmeet Kaur, Surgeon at Arms for Table Topic Contest Educational Session Episode 1, welcomes you to the educational session. Today, I understand your vision to learn something new has brought you here. Before starting the meeting, I would like to state the mission of the Toastmaster Club. The mission of a Toastmaster Club is to provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. As a general Toastmaster meeting, we have few ground rules. Rule number 1, all attendees must mute themselves unless switched by the Zoom master. Rule number 2, speakers are requested to refrain from talking about sex, religion, and politics. Rule number 3, please do not share your videos unless asked by the host. Rule number 4, kindly refrain from the movements that distract the speaker. In case you need to move, please turn off your video before doing so. Before moving ahead, let me introduce an enthusiastic Toastmaster. She is from ADP Hyderabad Toastmaster Club and been a part of Toastmaster for 4 years now. She has served VP roles and many XCOM roles in club level. She is currently a PQM for Division G. She has achieved Excellence in Educator and received Golden Feather Award. With a huge round of applause, I would like to welcome our presiding officer for today's meet, Toastmaster Ujjwala. Over to you, Toastmaster Ujjwala.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manmeet. Distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests, a very good morning and a warm welcome to everyone. As the contest season is near, we, the PQ team, came up with an initiative to help members to prepare and get more insights about the contest. Now, I welcome you all to the Table Topic Contest Education Session, Episode 1. And what can you expect from this session today? Tips and tricks to hack the table topic contest by our trainer and also have a real-time experience about the contest. Hope you all have a great learning experience today. And now, I would like to hand it over to our energetic MC, who is an engineering by profession and been a Toastmaster since 2018, who has also been PQ Chair for OraFest 2019 and Convener for OraFest 2020, and currently serving as Area Director for Area G1, who is none other than Toastmaster Charan. Over to you, Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Charan.
Thank you so much, Presiding Officer, Toastmaster Ujjwala. Good morning, everyone. I am Toastmaster Charan, the Master of Ceremonies for today's educational session. Let me kick off this session by narrating a small story, a table topic, if you will. Long ago, not so long ago, when things were fine and everything around us was hunky-dory and okie-dokie, yes, I'm talking about time before pandemic struck. Before, a lot of people knew the meaning of the word quarantine. And before, a lot of people have started to use the phrase new normal. Yes, those days. During those golden days, I used to go to my office. I used to go to my office real late. My boss observed this, and then he observed some more. One day, he confronted me. He came up to me filled with anger and rage. He said, "Why did you come late today?" But these words fell onto my ears in a soothing way. I heard these words as, "Toastmaster Charan, why did you come late today? Why did you come late today, Toastmaster Charan?" In the next 10 seconds, the table topic speaker in me stepped up, rose up to the occasion, and narrated a 2-minute story full of lively experiences and examples. At the end, my boss was convinced and content with my story. Now, let us come back to the present and understand why is it that I narrated this story to you people. It is to put across the point that being good at table topics is going to make you a good, fine storyteller. Now, being good is not enough all the time. One needs to get better, and hence this educational session. And an educational session from a good educator is not enough all the time. That is the reason we have someone here today who's better than good. In fact, one of the best table topic speakers District 98 has ever produced. This person has been a Toastmaster since 2012. He is a past area director. He co-authored a book, One More Step. He represented District 98 in 2016 at semi-finals of World Championship of Public Speaking. If I go on listing the achievements of this person, I would get a constructive feedback from PQ team at the very end. So let me now call onto the stage the educator for today's session, Distinguished Toastmaster K.V Subramanyam. Over to you, Distinguished Toastmaster K.V Subramanyam. The stage is yours. You're on mute, Distinguished Toastmaster K.V Subramanyam. Yeah.
Hi, good morning, good evening, everyone. So hope I am visible and audible to all of you.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Thanks for all those words, Toastmaster Charan. I don't know if I deserve such introductions as such. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Can everyone see my screen? Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, Toastmaster Charan has already given us a demo of how he uses Toastmasters to his benefit, to his advantage when the things are all good and sun-dry, as he rightly mentioned. Many a times, the mistake we all end up making is that we think that Toastmasters is different and our regular prepared speeches, they are different. Please come out of this notion. My humble request to everyone here is, please look at your table topics as a small speech, as a 2 to 3 minute speech that you are delivering. Okay. Or rather a 2-minute speech that you're delivering. You don't get the third minute anyways. You get only 2.5. So it's a 2.5 minute speech that you deliver. Now, before I start giving you a lot of gyan about Toastmasters, talking about contest season, I really loved the flyer. Whoever wrote those words, the winter is coming, so is the contest season. Right. But I want to tell them only one thing. See, winter is not optional. It will come always. Contest season is optional. You can either participate or you need not participate also. But table topics is like winter, that's for sure. It will come to your life and it'll really ask you questions. So table topics are more and more useful because forget this contest, forget all this stuff. Why is a table topic important is because in our life is filled with table topics, particularly in the age we live in, particularly for men. It's always a table topic because, you know, whenever you talk to your spouse, girlfriend, whosoever, you are supposed to come up with stories. Okay, I won't comment about women because I really don't know the constraints they face. So I really don't want to get there. So at any point of time, how many, I mean, most of us here would have written one CET exam or the other, right? One common entrance test or the other. Okay, South May in Andhra and Tamil Nadu, you would have written this T-set, M-set and all. You would have gone to Chaitanya's, Narayana's, brilliant tutorials and all that stuff. And North India, many people would have gone to quota, right? To get their quota of suffering in life, right? But let me tell you, what did they teach you in your CET exams? What was the first thing that the teachers would have taught you when you are getting into your CET exam? One thing they would have taught you is, see, whenever you read a question, right? Whenever you read a question, the first thing that you should understand is whether you would be able to answer that question or not. If you are not able to answer that question, move on to the next question. And all this process should happen in 10-15 seconds at the max. You should not spend more than half a minute on any question which you don't understand. Because if you understand also, you should get the answer within less than a minute. Otherwise, somebody else will kick you, like the way, you know, those eggs are kicked in those Three Idiots movie, right? That's what they would have told you. So our brains are now wired for this. Okay. Our brains are now wired for this. And they are wired to such an extent that whenever you listen to a topic, I mean, Toastmaster Charan is an exception. He has been in Toastmasters for quite some time, so he must have known how to play the whole game. But normally, what happens is if you are a newbie Toastmaster, if you have joined recently, if you are a newbie Toastmaster, you hear a table topic, and then in the first 30 seconds you'll speak whatever you know, and after that you would go blank. Is it the case with at least a decent number of people here? In 30 seconds you are gone and you are like, okay, what will I speak? Yeah, that's the problem of the CET exam that you wrote. And if you are writing for CAT, the problem is more reinforced. CAT, GMAT, whatever you write, because there you are supposed to stand on your, think on your feet so quickly. What happens in a table topic is, you see, how do you write a speech? In your speech, do you speak out your conclusion first? No, right? You arrive at your conclusion in your speech, right? You arrive at a conclusion in your speech. So is the case with your table topics also. You speak out your conclusion first, because imagine writing a physics exam or a chemistry exam in a CET, you will go and find out the answer. That's it, right? But here you are supposed to arrive at a conclusion. You have got 2.5 minutes, and between the second minute and the end of the second minute, you are supposed to come out with your conclusion. So be very, very careful. Whatever is your first thought. Now, whenever you are practicing table topics, right, practice it this way. Whatever is your first thought, that is your conclusion. Whenever you, for example, Charan has heard, why are you late? So Charan wanted to say, I had a flat tire. That was his conclusion. That is not his opening statement. So he'll start somewhere by saying that, I know I was driving in Jubilee Hills or Banjara Hills. There was this wonderful girl walking on the road. I saw her. Then I somehow, instead of looking at the road, I started even looking at the rear view mirror because she has already passed me. Then I did not. Then there was some construction work going on, and my bike accidentally went on the top of it. And then, I had a flat tire. Are you getting it? So this is how he builds the story. But he says, I had a flat tire. Then immediately the boss will start asking where, when, which tire. So he doesn't want to tell all this stuff, right? So he'll make his own story of it. So again, now, flat tire, I see some people laughing about it, but then you should tell the story of your life. You should not tell the story of others' lives. You should not tell Pushpa's story when you wanted to, when it is your table topic, right? Because of the movie they would also have seen, no, it will not be interesting for them. So you have to tell your story. So in those 2 minutes, whatever the topic is given, whatever is the topic that was given to you, listen to the topic attentively. So listening to the topic attentively is not a tip or a trick that I'm giving you. That's a hygiene factor, right? There are some hygiene factors for a job. There are some KRAs for a job, right? Key result areas for a job. So hygiene factors don't count as achievement. So a hygiene factor there is that you listen to the topic attentively. It is not a tip. It is not a trick. It is not an option that you have. It is a mandatory thing that you are supposed to do. God damn it, whatever happens, right? So you listen to the topic carefully. Okay, then the first thought that comes to your mind is your conclusion. So then you create a story to reach to that conclusion. That's how you practice table topics. Are you getting it? So you arrive at your conclusion. You don't start with your conclusion. Okay, try to avoid this, and half of your job is done on table topics. Okay, again, if possible, try opening your speech with a quote. But don't make it a habit that what may, you prepare 10 quotes, and whatever comes you will use one of those 10 quotes. Don't do that, and don't give my name there. Okay, आपको करना है तो कर लो यार, मेरा नाम मत दो, मतलब मुझे बर्बाद मत करो, ठीक है? But don't open it with a quote. Don't have fixed openings. Have a good opening, have a quote to start, but don't go be under the impression that I'll have to start with a quote, come what may. Okay, now we'll move on to the next one. Yeah, so have an open mind as you attempt your table topics. Don't have fixed openings and conclusions. I'm going to, so when Sirisha, who contacted me for this session, when she was telling me, she told me that I have to give some tips and tricks. So I'm trying to give a combination of techniques. you become good table topics masters when you read a lot, not when you watch a lot of movies, but when you read a lot. So I would advise everyone in this audience to read something or the other every day. Make it a habit, like the way. So I got this wonderful tip from one of my mentors and one of the really charismatic personalities, greatest good leaders of D98, Chandrasekhar DP. You must all be knowing him. So Chandra once told me that the way you eat, the way when you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth. I know winter is still going on, so bath might be optional for some people, not for all though. But then you eat, right? You eat, you drink water, you eat. Similarly, before going to bed, after waking up in the morning and before going to bed, at some point of time, spend 20 minutes reading something. And then don't read feminist, anti-feminist sort of literature only. You can read that, but don't make it the only thing that you're reading in your life. Don't take sides. Don't read something that is extremely on one side, one narrative. Try to read something that is generic. Try to read something that is that is good, that actually lifts your mood, and that actually helps you in your table topics later on. And by and large, reading helps in life, and because table topics are a part of life, reading helps there as well. Okay, now I'm going to give some sets of tips and tricks. So some techniques I'm going to share here. So use a combination of the techniques that I'm using, and then practice a lot if you want to really win contests. Okay, so many of the people who, I mean, almost everyone here would have drank Coca-Cola at some point of time or the other. But then that's how Coca-Cola started its journey. You look at the first Coca-Cola bottles, you probably, probably if I were in 1916 and if I were drinking Coca-Cola, there are high chances that my mom would have thrown me out of the house for drinking alcohol. Right? So what happens is, chronology is a very, very interesting and an important technique that one can use while attempting table topics. So when you hear a topic, there is a past, there is a present, there is a future, right? A topic as wild as, what would you do if you become a millionaire tomorrow? There also you can use this. I mean, that's a topic where people might think that, I just can't use past, present, and future. No, you can talk about your childhood, where probably you're too pampered by your parents, or probably where your father or your mother would have controlled the strings of the purse very strongly. They would have told you that, you can't waste money. And you must have always longed to have that one pair of shoes, that one dress, that one bike. That was always your dream choice. So you would say, you might probably say, 15 years down the line, when I was a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old, I used to see my friends wearing these dresses, or my relatives driving this car, or my friend who got that cricket kit. I always wanted to go and get it. Today I'm earning decently, so with my first salary I have already gone and done that, right? So that's the present. I've covered the present also. So tomorrow, if I wake up tomorrow morning as a millionaire, the first thing I'd probably do is, reach out to some orphanage, understand the dreams of the kids over there. I don't care whether I have a million, I have a $500,000, I have a $10,000, or even if I have just 1 lakh rupees, which I would have got, but I'd ensure that I'd go to that orphanage. I try to understand what their dreams are for those kids, what they are really longing, and give that to them. Because as a kid, your mind is not polluted. You have one desire and you really want it with all your heart. There is a past, there is a present, there is a future in this topic. Okay, and the topic, when you hear it, it doesn't seem like a topic that can be attempted with chronology, right? But you can use chronology there. At the same time, there are some topics, for example, use of technology, or sometimes you get stuff like, technology has become too intrusive in our lives, stuff like that. You hear all sorts of topics, right? So in any topic I'm telling you, you can definitely use this past, present, and future, and then conclude about it. At the end of the day, this conclusion is very, very important, because If I get a lot of money, I'll do charity is one way of saying it. I'll save a lot of it for myself and then do a bit of that as charity is also one more thing. Or I'll say I'll be worrying about the amount of tax that Nirmala Sitharaman is taking away from me is also another way of looking at the same topic. All of these are looking at the, so whatever is your conclusion, you arrive at that using this past, present and future technique and then conclude about it. Okay. The next one is a pros versus cons technique. So any topic that is, so many a times there are topics that come in as questions to you. So again, simple topic, a simple topic like, half a loaf is better than none. Okay, this was my district contest topic in 2013 when I went to the district finals for the first time. This was the topic that they gave me. Okay. So again, when you hear the topic, you might feel that, what is how can that be identified as a pros versus cons technique? Yeah, so half a loaf is better than none. Half a loaf is better than none always because as a kid, I always thought that life is always black and white. So either I should have something completely or I should not have something completely was always the thought that I carried in my life. But when I grew up, I thought I should either be the topper in my in the MSET amongst the top 10, or I should just not write that exam. But God gave me a rank which was decent. It was neither excellent nor bad. I had to continue my education, and I always thought I should either be in the top 50. I mean, I should be in the top 10% of the class, or just not be there at all. I ended up as a 6th ranker of my class. Now I'm not the topper. I'm not the last guy. I was in the middle. That's how I realized that in your life you don't get anything completely. You always get something, and that something is going to help you. Would you want to leave that something for a mirage, a dream, where you want to have everything of it and lose the balance of your life? Or you want to build on that half a loaf that you get and you go ahead? Is a thought process that I leave for you. When you pick a half and you keep working on it, the good thing that happens to you is that you at least have something to start with and to make progress on. One cannot lose progress for the sake of perfection, and that's what half a loaf has always taught me. If we ignore the half that we already have and we leave it and we run for something else, we all have heard the wonderful saying which actually says that a bird in hand is better than two in the bush. So, my dear friends, concentrate on the half that you get in your life and try to make it full than trying to run after a full and getting nothing on your hands. So here I used pros, I used cons, and because I wanted to close with pros, I kept my conclusion in sync with what I spoke. Are you getting it? So now don't, I have seen some speakers. So our minds are interesting things, right? When we start a table topic, right? Our mind will think in a linear direction for first 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Then suddenly it will say, hey, wait, I found more cons than pros. So let me talk about more cons. Okay, in the midway, you will do some mid-air course correction. And after speaking for 30-40 seconds on it, you suddenly realize, audience mein to kuch response aa nahi raha hai. Am I talking bad? So then you suddenly make another course correction and you close it on pros. Don't do that. Whatever it is, stick to one thing. See, we always like people who are on one side of things, right? We like people who take one side and talk about it, than people, who are like mushy and, I want everyone, I won't take sides. That's an idiotic way of living. I mean, where you will never have happiness, you will never have satisfaction. That I have taken one stand and I stuck to it, I fought for it, nothing. So please take stands. Okay, take one stand and don't do it like, you talk about 2 minutes for pros and in the last 30 seconds your brain says you did not get any response. Come se kam gray points to mil jate hain, judges say, I'll again conclude on cons. No, don't do that. Okay. Don't cut yourself. Don't do flip flops on the stage. Okay, flip flops are good only for ECE labs. Okay, uske baad uska zyada use nahi hota unless you are an electronics engineer for your life. Okay. Okay. Now we'll move on. Okay. For all the people who have been uninterested, bored, sleeping, or probably thought, "Bhai, kya bakra hai itna der se banda." Even if you ignore everything that I spoke till now, this is one slide that I want you to remember. Okay. This is called, you need not take notes. This slide is available. This slide deck is available on the internet, and I'll on my blog, and I'll share my blog's link with you so that you can download it directly from there. Don't write any notes. Please concentrate on what I'm speaking. So this technique is called as SPELT: social, political or philosophical, education, economy, environment, legal, technology. Whenever you look at a topic, try to look at it from at least one of these lenses. Okay. One second. I had to just step out. I'm really sorry. My daughters are a little excited and they're like, half an hour, dad is not here. I'm sorry for that. Sorry for the interruption. Hope that was a welcome break for you also. So try to analyze your topic from one of these spectrums, either from a social perspective, a political or a philosophical perspective, so social perspective. So see, whenever we talk about any topic in this world, any topic under the sun, technology ho, moral policing ho, dressing up ho, I mean, whatever it is, whatever topic it is, getting $1 million ho, half a loaf is better than, and whatever topic you might ask, you always have a social perspective to the topic. So what is the impact on the society because of this? Okay, for example, a topic as simple as um I mean, can anyone give a topic? Probably I'll try to put it as a from a social perspective and I'll analyze it, then I giving my own examples. So Charan, I see your unmuted. Yes, go ahead.
Hope is like a soap.
Hope is like a soap. Fantastic. We are living in times where a lot of people have lost their livelihoods in the last 2 years for no fault of theirs. Some fellow ate a bat somewhere and we are all washing our hands, and they call it globalization, my dear friends. Why should that guy eat a bat, and why should we keep washing our hands for 2 years? Goddamn. My dear friends, in these uncertain times where people are losing their livelihoods, where people are not able to get out of their 6x6 rooms, where they are eating, sleeping, working, and spending a lot of their day not even seeing sunlight within the confines of their homes, where the social interactions are almost gone except for smartphones, where a lot of people are losing the capability in their eyes by seeing a lot of LED screens for a lot of times in these days. It's so common that they get depressed. Ironically, the governments, for the first time in 2022, I have heard a finance minister say that they are allocating some money for the mental well-being of the country. That's where we are all going. In the North American countries, when the winter comes in, you see a lot of people saying that they get depressed because they are not able to go out of their homes, they are not able to meet people, they are not able to party. And when spring comes, we see all of them becoming jubilant in their celebrations. What keeps them going through those minus 30 degrees Celsius temperatures in Canada is hope. A hope that a spring will come in a month's time. My dear friends, hope is that soap that keeps you going. You need to take a bath every day, and you need to have hope as your soap every day, giving a bath to your brain, saying that, hey, good days are going to come. This pandemic is going to end one day, and we are going to see a beautiful world once again. That's how the society can make progress. So, my dear friends, as a responsible social citizen, have hope. Now you see how I analyze the whole thing using society only. I did not use politics, I did not use philosophy, I did not use education, economy, environment, not talk anything about it. I only used society and I attempted the topic. So analyze that the topic from a social lens. Okay. Now all the married men in the audience can probably give me a can give me a thumbs up or something. Even the unmarried ones also, because I would rather say that everyone, man, woman, everyone should get married in their lives. This for the simple reason that if you have a fantastic marriage where you need not work on your marriage, if you get a wonderful spouse, who will understand everything that you want, who will say, "Arey, nahi, 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 I'm sorry," who is understanding, who cooks for you, who reminds you of your tasks, who is loving, who forgives you for your mistakes, you will become a politician in your life. What is politics all about? Because you need not do anything at home because your spouse is taking care of almost all the things at your home. You will start thinking कि work में मैं कैसे progress करूंगा, मैं घर में तो कुछ करने का बचा नहीं है, right? That fellow is, or that lady or that fellow was in I mean they are taking care of everything. So what do? What is politics all about? You getting power, right? So what will you start doing? Whatever organization I am in, I'll start getting power, right? So you will start looking at profit loss of everyone and you will say, okay, I'll do something here, I'll do something there, and I'll become a very strong guy in my office. So that's politics. You play politics in office. Now if you have a very bad marriage, or decently bad marriage, where you have to work on saving your marriage day in and day out, your kids demand a lot of your attention, your spouse is like, okay, on the border always, so he or she keeps you on your hooks always. What will happen to you? You'll become a philosopher. Zindagi aisi hoti hai yaar. There is no happiness in life only, right? There is no guarantee that if I move on and find out another person in life, there is no guarantee that I'll be happy again. So you'll start hating either entire 50% of human race. So you'll start hating either all women or all men. You'll start hating. When you start suffering a lot, right? Particularly at home, you'll start becoming a very good philosopher, right? So you will analyze your whole life. Anything that happens to you, even if your bike or a car doesn't start just because it's winter and you did not start it for 1 week, you will say nothing happens to me in my life at a correct time. For everything I'll have to work hard, right? Just imagine the country delight fellow did not deliver that milk in the morning to you. That also will make you think like a philosopher. What if milk is not there? I'll drink something else. You know what? Life doesn't need a lot of luxuries, you see. You will start lecturing left, right, center. 5 साल का उस marriage में आपको भारत रत्न दे देना चाहिए for philosophy, right? So get married, and you can analyze anything from a philosophical view. What is philosophical viewpoint? Philosophy is politics is the search for power. Jokes aside, politics is the base. The core idea of politics is the search and the success at getting power. It might be in an organization, it might be at home, it might be at any place. Philosophy is a search for truth. I just took the marriage example to just drive home a point. If I say politics is such a power, I'm sure timer last year will be sleeping and she has to give me the timer at some point of time. So I just thought marriage will sort of brighten up the mood. Okay, but either way, so that's what happens with politics or philosophy. So I try to analyze this topic either from a power perspective or try to analyze the topic from a truth perspective. Are you getting it? So that's politics and philosophy. The next one, so probably even if you are not able to analyze any topic from the first 2 parts, be strong in one of these 3 areas: education, economy, environment. So we all know the importance of education. We all know the importance of having a good and stable working economy. And we also know the importance of having a good environment around us. Good environment in the sense, not just work environment, not what your HR sends you in the mail saying that, diversity, inclusivity, wo wala environment nahi hai. I'm talking about the real environment. Paid, paude, jad, all that stuff. Okay. I'm talking about that sort of environment. Okay. So education, economy, environment. Okay. Any topic that comes to you, hope is a soap also can be spoken from an education perspective. I'll just do a demo for you on how I'll do it from an education perspective, because I did not know about this topic before. It's a nice challenge for me to show that I can, where I can attempt, I can just attempt and say I might not succeed, but my when I hear the word hope and soap, the first thought that comes to my mind is 3 p.m. every afternoon, because that's the time when my housemaid comes to our home. And every 3 days, she needs more soap. Vim bar. That's what I keep buying for her. While she consumes a lot of soap in my house, almost all the times, her words make me feel depressed. For a simple reason that this lady ignored all the pleas of vaccination early on, just because somebody in her family told her that by getting vaccinated, you lose your capability to produce more kids. She already has 2 kids. Now I'm really worried as as to why she wanted more. And the kids are studying intermediate and 10th class, by the way. Now I'm really worried even more. Okay. Now she finally got vaccinated with her first dose in January of this month, by the time everybody completed their second dose as well. And now she's more depressed because everywhere, wherever she wants to travel these days, even to get her ration and all, they are asking for vaccination certificate because Omicron has come in. Every day she comes and she says, Ayo, I made this mistake. What to do? I'm not able to earn more. I'm not able to get my ration. I'm going here, there, everywhere. I have to touch that touch screen so that I have to give my fingerprint, thumb impression to get my ration. That is not happening and all. And when I look at all this, and recently one day I went and met her daughter who is studying her second year intermediate. Now that girl has taken her booster shot already, her vaccination shot already. And that gives me hope. In the same home, an uneducated mother fell prey to a propaganda and did not get vaccinated, whereas her daughter got vaccinated in the first line because of her education, because she's studying her +2. And our society is getting more and more educated. So the hope that this hope is a soap for me that refreshes me every morning, that my daughter will not face this, will not live in a society where a superstition or a propaganda will rule, and she'll live in a society where education will rule. Because in my maid's home, I'm seeing that difference that the education has brought in 2 generations. I'm sure my previous attempt would have been better than this, but then I still was able to attempt it in a perspective of education, in a perspective of economy also you can do, in a perspective of environment also you can do. Now, how many of us have this one friend in our lives who is who always knows whether it is good or bad? For that fellow, there is no gray area only. And who is the guy? Last year you're showing your finger. Who is that?
Charan, sir, Charan.
So whatever you talk to these people, they know it's already bad or they know it's already good. मतलब there is nothing like try करके देखते हैं, ये वाला चीज रहता ही नहीं इनके लाइफ में. You want to go for a movie, they'll say no, I won't come. Why? He'll tell, there is this director, there is this hero. Last time when they both did a movie, it was a disaster, so I'll not go to this movie. Or last time when they did a movie, it was a super hit, so I'll go to this movie. I mean, for them, life is binary, and I believe, because I'm getting a lot of gray hair now. I believe that they'll not get gray hair. One night they'll sleep with whole black hair in their head. Next morning they'll wake up to full white hair. It's not so. What these people do is, so for them, world is binary. There is nothing like a gray area in the middle. So they are people who are legal. So what is legal? Legality is not about gray areas. Remember this. When you go to a court, you are not talking about middle path. When you go to a court, what are you talking about? You are talking about the black or the white. That's why they wear black and white in court. Have you ever seen a court where judges wear gray suits, or where they wear a combination of shades, where they dress up like Rang Rasiya and come to court? No, everybody in the court wears black and white, because there's a black, it's black or a white. They are giving a judgment there. So if you are a judgmental type of person where you can judge everything, you can actually look at every topic from a legal perspective, from a right wrong perspective. Okay, and you can stick to one of them. Lastly, I'm sure most of the people who are here who are made, because most of you wrote CET exams, I assume that most of you were forced to do engineering and then figure out engineering or medicine and then try to figure out what to do with the rest of your life. So since we are and we are living in a world where you can't escape something, a word called technology. So so try to analyze everything from a technical perspective also. Okay, so pick up one or two of these topics whenever you are reading, right? Plan your reading in such a way that you read in one of these genres. For example, you read everything from a societal perspective, or you read things, you read more about education or economy, or you read more about technology, all this stuff. Okay, so try to do that and try to analyze the topics from that perspective. I know Lasya is getting distracted because I'm running over time. That's okay, Lasya. I'll go a little over time. Don't worry about it. And then the next technique is problem solution technique. Sometimes the topic itself would come like a problem. Okay, and then try to give all the solutions that you can give. For example, somebody might give a topic like, why is Bollywood losing its sheen these days? I know this won't come in a contest, but it might come as a table topic when you're doing a Bollywood themed meeting or something like that. Okay, then there's a problem. Yeah, truly Bollywood is losing its sheen, but a lot of movies that are coming out of Bollywood, even including 83, they have been flops. And those guys are trying to survive on films dubbed from South right now, which is bad for any industry, basically. So you can give solutions. You can say that they're trying to teach too much. They're trying to preach too much. Where they were, and probably they can say Sushant Singh Rajput died, so I did not like, so I'm not watching the movies. Stuff like that. Whatever you want to say, you can say. There is a problem. There is a solution. You will try to give a solution to that problem, and then you conclude based on it. And then now, all the techniques that I told till here were to excel. Okay. There are bad days in our lives where you are like the chicken and you get on to the table topics, and the table topics master is hell bent on trying to settle an old score with you. Okay, so he or she gives you a topic. I mean, you are there and you are like that chicken which is there on the road, and many trucks coming towards it, you just don't know which side of the road to run, right? So there are some survival techniques. You might ask, sir, why to survive? I know that guy is pulling my leg. Job to nahi ja rahi yahan pe. So why can't I just say get lost and get down? No, you should not do that, because at any point of time, have you ever worn very nice dresses and gone to a place, a place filled with mud, dust, and everywhere? Yeah, you must have gone, right? So the first time you want to sit in mud, no, you'll have this problem that, arey, dress ka kya ho jayega? Right? Once the dress is soiled, no, you will sit everywhere, because washing machine to waise bhi dho nahi isko. It's already soiled. No, I'll sit anywhere, everywhere, whatever I want, I'll do. Right? That's how we behave. Right? If you want to see this behavior, watch women in weddings. The first time they are sitting, no, in a chair in that wedding, they'll clean that chair 5 times with a small napkin they have in their hand. Once let that sari get some amount of dust, no, they'll sit everywhere. I mean, except for the buffet place. Otherwise, they'll remove that buffet wala dishes also and sit there also indeed. That's all. They'll not have any problem. Why I'm saying this example is, our mind is also like that. You keep, you tell your mind that, I'll take table topics seriously because I want to ace it. I want to become a very good table topic speaker. Your mind will not let you down till you let yourself down. For example, the first time you finish your speech before seeing the green flag and come down, your mind will say, array, till now I have a reputation to save. Last year, Priya will speak for 2 minutes. This is the image that I already created. How can I break it? I'll speak for 2 minutes, right? That's how your mind will keep telling you. Once you just make a stupid gesture on the stage and come down, your mind will say, oh, बेइज्जती तो last time भी हो गया था ना, बेइज्जती already होगी हमारी. What is there? Next this time also they'll say, okay, what is there? Last time also I did the same. So never ever, if you are serious about table topics, if you are really serious about public speaking, never ever give up the time. I mean, never ever come down, never ever give up the stage before you see the red flag. For all reasons, मुफ्त में audience आपको 2 minute मिले तो 2 minute completely use करो. Be like Guru Bhai. Okay, don't be like Mahatma. Be like Guru Bhai, or be like that. What is that? Scam 1992 mein Harshad Mehta. If you get 2 minutes, use your 2 minutes to the fullest. And if you are really And if I were you, I will not step down from the stage till the timer makes a face saying that bhai aapka time ho raha hai, kam se kam ab to nikal jao before you get disqualified. 220, 225, test the borders. Okay. Be like Rahul Dravid. It doesn't matter whether you are bowling to me at 150 kmph Shoaib Akhtar, I'll still defend it. I'll survive this session. Next session mein dekhenge. Okay. So now how do you do it? I am giving you two or three techniques here. Okay. One technique is keyword technique. And this I learned from a girl who was my mentee. Okay. So I was doing this wonderful session as a trainer some 9-10 years ago in Toastmasters. And there was this girl who came to our speechcraft session. And I told her the same thing. जो मैंने अभी आपको सुनाया था 9 साल पहले मैं उसको भी यही सुनाया था. I told her the same thing. And then I was calling everyone and I gave her a topic like money makes many things. Now she came onto the dais and she started speaking about her money, her father's money, how her father gives her some money, her mother's money. Okay. And then how she plans to use her husband's money once she gets married, how much share of his salary that she wants to take every month. Okay. How she is currently using her brother's money because he is elder to her. Okay. In the itne mein to 2 minutes are over. And she finally said, see, this is how I want to use money. And I want to buy many things with money. And she came down. After that, I went to her and said, Madam, I told you many techniques before. I told you spelt, pros versus cons. I gave you itna gyan maine padhaya aapko, and you are talking like this. Then she looked at me and said, sir, before telling all this, you told me one thing, survive for 2 minutes. I did not really understand what you said. I was so nervous that I just could not even grasp what you said. This is my second or third time. So I'm really, really nervous. So you said 2 minutes I have to survive. I heard money. So I used, then I said, okay, I'll create a new technique based on your name. That's keyword technique. So here, whatever you understand, pick a keyword and survive for 2 minutes. This will help you in contests also, because if you are not able to understand something, there is a high chance that every other contestant also will not be able to understand a lot of it. So if you survive for those 2 minutes, right, you are assured of a podium finish. Got it? Okay. We'll move on to the next thing. Next technique is called 3-point technique. अब आपको keyword भी समझ में नहीं आया. So 9-10 years ago, till I got married, I never used to watch films a lot. God made me marry a girl who watches at least, she doesn't watch many movies, only 1 or 2 per week. Okay. So now, and you know, as a husband, dutiful husband, I'll give her company at least for that 1 or 2 movies. Okay. She watches more even than. So now, I became this Toastmaster, and I won the division level contest within the first year of my Toastmastering journey. I won the division level contest in table topics. Now the guy who lost to me, he invited me to their club. He came second. Okay, I went to his club, and he gave me, and because we both were very good friends, and this guy was like, okay, I'll tell you what to do. And you know, he was the team mod of that session. Table topics master of that session. And when I volunteered, he said, hey, we have a champion here who can handle any topic. He knew that, you know, I can't talk much about films at that point of time. And he said, how can you speak about the way in which the movie songs transitioned in the last 60 years? I can't even pick up a keyword and speak much. Movie songs, I don't know much about movie songs also. Then I said, there are 3 things to this. Okay. And while I was talking about the first one, I was putting pressure on my mind to generate the second idea. Then I said, there will be 30 things about it here. I said, there are 3 things about it. Okay. And I said, see, in 1940s and all, not 1940s, in the black and white era, if you look at all black and white movies, those guys did not have exotic locations and all. So they had one studio, one set. And you look at any of those old songs here, irrespective of languages, black and white particularly, you know, there will be one tree in one corner, and there will be one pillar in another corner. Okay. So either the hero will be hugging the tree and the heroine will be hugging the pillar. They won't be hugging each other because that was indecent for the audience in 1950s and 60s. Right. You look at any of those movies here in Telugu, you have these wonderful movies called Missamma and all. If you look at it, both of them will at least maintain social distancing. So actually, hero and heroine will be maintaining healthy social distancing in all the songs. You watch Missamma or Gundamma Kada and all these old Telugu movies, you will see that. Okay. And what happened by 80s and 90s? Social distancing got come ho gaya tha. So they were letting heroes and heroines run towards each other. तब तो वृंदावन गार्डन से जाते थे और कहीं मिलता नहीं था इन लोगों को शूट करने के लिए. They never used to go to Kashmir or you know, they never had Bahubali wala type budgets. So they used to go to Vrindavan Gardens. So there'll be two lines. In one line, the hero will come running, and in the other line, the heroine will come running, and there'll be a fountain in the middle. And they'll come to the fountain and they'll hug each other. And then what happens is there'll be a flower that's thrown onto the screen. Okay, when they come close to each other, they'll throw a flower onto the screen. So telling you that you imagine whatever you want beyond this, right? And we used to see just that much. So that's the second point I spoke. And I said, and you know, 2011, 12, around that time, you know, this Jism and all those sort of bold movies were just making big. I think that was the area. Then I said, see, these days, if you go to the movie and the hero and heroine are coming closer to each other, you will feel like not watching them. You'll start looking at your hands, your legs, and say, like, what to see? I mean, इससे बेहतर तो मैं porn ही देख लेता, right? 2010, 11 and all that time was, you know, when Sunny Leon and all were making. So I said these three things and I said, these are the 3 points that I wanted to speak about it, and I became the best table topic speaker that day. Then I said, okay, this is a 3-point technique. And Rajshekhar Mamadana gave a proper wording to this. He made the 3-point technique, and he said, you know, when you're talking about your first point, you generate your second point. When you're talking about your second point, you generate your third point, but still don't give up. These are techniques to survive, not to excel. Okay, inherently use pros and cons. And for record, I'm telling you, this must be the last option that you are using. This is the last tip or technique that you will ever use for your table topics. Okay. So, well, that's it from my side. I think we can go with the demo now, where you said you will give some table topics. If you want me to attempt, I'll attempt. If you want somebody else to attempt, they can also attempt. We'll quickly go to that. So what do you want to do, Charan? Would you like to give me the topics, or would you like others to take the topics?
I'd really want to see how others would attempt from the educational session, you know, from the learnings that they've gotten from the educational session.
Yeah, then I'll close the session. So
sure.
Okay, so everything I spoke here is because of this one man that you are seeing on the screen. His name is Shashank Bhavaraju. If you want to know how great this man is, just go to YouTube and type Rise, Fall in Love by Shashank Bhavaraju. Just type Shashank Bhavaraju, you'll get this speech. Though I don't know what value I add to all of you for the last 30-40 minutes I have been speaking. But if you listen to that one speech, you will go to bed with a bright smile on your face. He's such a fantastic person. He taught me all this. Whatever I learned, whatever good things, if I made any value in the speech, that's all because of him. He's a fantastic person who, without a mentor, your Toastmaster journey is as good as nothing. So I was lucky enough to have Shashank and Chandrasekhar DP as my mentors. And particularly Shashank was the person who taught me all this stuff. So my big thanks to my mentor, because I owe everything to him. So this is my mentor, and yes, as I spoke in this speech, also in this presentation, also before, with the current world order, with the way the things are going in the world, with the amount of trouble that we are seeing all around us, with the amount of joblessness that's coming in, with the amount of stress levels that people are getting subjected to, with the amount of weight people are putting on because they're not moving simply, with the amount of deficiencies we are having, with the amount of uncertainty in life, the only thing that can soothe anyone is a caring person's voice. So the world awaits a great speaker. Forget whether you would be the best table topic speaker or whether you would be the greatest speaker on this world. The most important conversations that you will have in your life are with your spouse, are with your parents, are with your kids. Most of those are unprepared conversations. Try to use these techniques there. Try to excel as good speakers at home. When you excel as good speakers at home, the world will start recognizing you outside also. In Telugu, there is this wonderful line which says, "Inta gelichi ratsa gelavandi," which means whatever you are, be that greatest person in your home. If your wife doesn't look at you as a good person, if your husband doesn't look at you as a good person, if your kids don't look up to you, all the laurels of this world are nothing but waste. So the world awaits, the world wants great speakers, and that starts at home. So please be great speakers at home. Please please try to use these techniques at home. Please try to soothe this world, make this world a better place by being a good speaker and thinking a lot before you speak. And I thank one and all for giving me this opportunity. And I thank the timer for not showing the timing cards, though it's 50 minutes, though I overshot the speaking time by 20 minutes. That's on a lighter side, but I'm really thankful to you, Lasya, for not interrupting me in this. And I also thank Sirisha, actually, because she was very patient. She called me up and she was following up with me. And also I thank one and all for this opportunity. Have a great time. The world is really awaiting you. Go rock it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster K.V Subramanyam. I really felt that the session that we had until now was conversational, entertaining, engrossing, scintillating, enlightening, philosophical, and thought-provoking. It made sense to me. I'm being honest, genuine. These are the adjectives that I was thinking of when you were giving a session. Now, let go of it. Now, let's get started with the next thing that we have on our agenda. To put into practice what we have learned until now, let us have a small demo contest. 3 people have nominated themselves to be the table topic speakers for this particular educational session. Now, these 3 people will be given a topic, after which they will receive feedback from our educator. The 3 participants for today's meeting are Jahnavi, Toastmaster Jahnavi, Toastmaster Amir, and Toastmaster Sarika. Zoom Master, can you please help me sending the second participant and the third participant, that is Toastmaster Amir and Toastmaster Sarika, to the breakout room? Please confirm once that's done. Okay. Let us wait for this first speaker. Even the first speaker has been sent to the breakout room. So once he's here, we'll get started. Toastmaster Jahnavi, can you please turn on your video?
Yes.
Please pin her. Please pin her so that we will see.
Sure. I'll do that.
Yes, I'm invisible.
Yes, you are.
Okay, that's great.
Yes. Toastmaster Jahnavi, can you please confirm if you're able to see the timer cards? There's a white.
Just a white screen is there.
Yellow.
Yes, red, yellow, green.
You can see the transition of timer cards too, correct?
Yes.
Can you do a quick audio and video check?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Hope you are all doing good. Is that okay?
Yes, you are audible and visible. Let's get started.
Yes.
Sure. Contestant number 1, Toastmaster Jahnavi. Honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy. Contestant number 1, Toastmaster Jahnavi.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing good. I'm Toastmaster Jahnavi from Vijayaya, Vignan Jyoti Institute of Management, currently pursuing PGDM first year. And today's topic, honesty is the best policy. Since my childhood days, I have been seeing this quote on the blackboard of the classroom. Since class 1 till class 10th, I have done my schooling in Kendra Vidyalaya, and everywhere in every classroom, I would be able to see the quote written on the chat. But seriously, I don't know about the meaning of that. But when I reached after inter degree, I got to know about the meaning, and I got to know how honest would create our life into a beautiful way, rather than speaking the lies. But saying the truth always will make our face look bright, look happy, and from the bottom of our heart, we are very happy to share anything which we want, rather than telling the lies. Honesty, coming to the part of the honesty, as I teach students and kids the art and craft, sometimes they won't do the homework which I give them. Sometimes they'll do it very perfectly. But when they don't do, when I ask them, why didn't you do that? Then they say, ma'am, today. That's it, they'll say. But they won't sit after that. Then I have to, what happened? Then they'll say some lies. But in the back of the camera, their parents will be saying, ma'am, today they went out, so they couldn't do. So there the lies has been caught. Why? Because they were not able to say it properly and they were not able to do the work. But when they say, ma'am, today I had a work, I went there, so I didn't do the work, which I have given. Then I'll say, okay, it's fine. That was important for you at that time, but not the work. So you will do this. By the end of the night, you will submit it. So there's the policy of honesty is like, where they'll be talking about the truth, not rather than lies. So I think honesty is always the best out of every matter of life, where we'll be telling the truth always, and we will be as. And I conclude my speech by saying, in every part of the life, in everywhere, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if you do it well, with wholeheartedly, honesty automatically comes rather than telling the lies. Thank you everyone for giving this opportunity.
Thank you so much, table topic speaker 1, Toastmaster Janvi. Let us now observe a minute of silence for the educator to make notes.
No, we can go ahead. I was making my notes, so let's go ahead.
Sure. Zoom Master, can you please send a message, broadcast message asking the table topic speaker? Toastmaster Amir, can you please turn on your video? Yes, Toastmaster Amir. Can you please unmute your audio device? Toastmaster Amir, you are speaking on mute. Okay, I think you do not. Let me send you. Okay, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Toastmaster Amir, can you please confirm if you're able to see the timer cards? Okay, can you please confirm if you're able to see the transition of timer cards?
Still there's, yeah.
Right. And also, can you please do a quick audio video check? You are speaking on mute, Amir.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible. Let's get started.
Sure.
Contestant number 2, Toastmaster Amir. Honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy. Contestant number 2, Toastmaster Amir.
So very good morning, fellow Toastmasters, because it's just afternoon. So very good morning. And I'd like to start my table topic, and I'm going to speak about honesty is the best policy. So in my thought, honesty is the best policy for society too, because when we are being honest, then we are trying to be honest with other people's too. And when the other peoples are going to see us that we are being honest, then they are also being encouraged to be honest. And if we are being honest, then we are creating a sense of self-awareness. And when we are being honest, we are trying to help those peoples who are like being try to being dishonest sometimes, but after seeing us, they will start being honest with other peoples also and with us also. And when we being honest, then I personally feel that when we are like honest kind of thing, then there's something that we are confident about. Like if anything goes wrong too, then something is there that gives us the confidence to wrap up, to like go on, that gives a boost to us, that no, if I'm honest and I'm not wrong in any of my things, then I can go on, I can still go on, because I have not done anything wrong. And if I'm being wrong in any of the things, then I may feel a low bit times, because I know that I'm wrong and I can be caught after being wrong. So if I'm being honest, then I'm having that confidence, I'm having that boost to go on to keep doing my things. And if we're being honest, then it is really good for the society too. And we're being there 3 points. If we are being honest, then we are creating self-awareness in the home. Then the home, in like my father, my mother is going to like me if I am not being honest. If I am being honest, if my father says, have you taken your lunch? If I says no, and my mother says that yes, he has taken the lunch, then he's going to like scold me. So if I'm being honest, then I'm taking my parents to be happy. If I'm being honest, I'm taking my friends to be happy. And if I'm being honest, then I'm creating a self-awareness in the society. So I would like to wrap up by the saying that really honesty is the best policy, and I support it. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Charan.
Thank you so much, table topic speaker to Toastmaster Amir. Now, Zoomaster, can you please drop a broadcast message asking the speaker number 3 to join the main meeting room?
I have done so. I'm just waiting. I believe the speaker has joined. The speakers have joined.
Thank you so much, Zoomaster. Toastmaster Sarika, can you please unmute your audio device? Okay. Yes. Thank you so much. Sarika, can you please confirm if you're able to see the timer cards?
Yes, green, yellow, and red.
And the transition of timer cards too?
Yes.
Can you please do a quick audio and video check?
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are. Let's get started. Contestant number 3, Toastmaster Sarika. Honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy. Contestant number 3, Toastmaster Sarika.
I have been a teacher for 6 years. In 6 years, I have known many students who have lied through their teeth. And sometimes I am frustrated. Sometimes I'm plain right pissed off. And sometimes I understand as a student where they're coming from. This once time, when I was invigilating an examination, I saw a person copying in the examination hall. I was clearly able to see the chits the person had with him. He tried to sneak in the chits when I turned my back and started walking to the opposite end of the room. Now, I wanted to catch hold of him, but I also know that if I catch hold of him, he will be suspended. It was a catch-22 situation for me. As a mother, if someone would have called me and said, hey, your daughter was cheating, I wouldn't have liked it. But then, if the teacher wouldn't have said me that my daughter was cheating for the very first time and she would have cheated all through her life, how would I be able to live with that kind of a guilt? It took me 45 minutes for me to come out of that guilt conscious and report this thing to my supervisor. But for the record, you might think, Sarika, you were a teacher. You should have done this in the first minute you found out. It took me a little while to understand the pros and cons of me reporting this to my supervisor. I knew this would go to the dean examination, and the first thing he would do is to suspend the rest of his examinations. Is it a wise thing to actually be honest and ruin someone's life? But is it also a wise thing not to be honest and let the human know that it is okay to cheat? At the end of the day, when I went to sleep, I felt bad for the child, but I also felt good about my position as a teacher. No matter what, being honest is always good. Over to the table topic master.
Thank you so much, table topic speaker 3 Toastmaster Sarika. Now, let me quickly hand over the stage to our educator for today's meeting, distinguished Toastmaster K.V Subramanyam, so that he'll be able to give us comments, feedback to these three participants. Over to you, DTM Subramanyam.
Okay.
You're speaking. Yeah. Sir, you're still on mute.
Yeah. Am I fine now?
Yes, you are.
So let's start with the first speaker. Jahnavi. Jahnavi, you had a nice way to start, but you'll have to practice in the areas where you stick to one story, okay, and carry it till the completion. So you started off, I think you probably wanted to say something personal when you began with, and then in the middle, from somewhere, the idea that you as a teacher, talking to those students and all that came up, and then you sort of digressed into that story, and that story came in late. Actually, it came around 1.5 minutes. So you are not able to properly, I mean, you did not really have time for conclusion, and that was actually a huge issue in your table topic. Otherwise, you really started off well, and I was expecting that you would actually build on the story that you started with, some life where you realized what honesty is all about and how it helped you. Now, that would have been much better than, see, I'll tell you one thing. Whenever we give a story, right, the learning should be on us, not on them. It should not be on the audience. The learning should always be on you, not on the audience. So try to get whenever you make a story, right, try to ensure that you are actually the learner at the end of the day. It's you who is realizing that, hey, this is something good and nice, not your students, not their parents, or anything. Okay, if you try to, at the end of the day, if you try to tell that, hey, I learned this, that would be much better. Okay, and try to have the proper conclusion in place. I think you made a mid-air change. Actually, your table topic was going in one direction, where I was actually expecting when you gave your background, when you said you were studying, and then you realized something. Suddenly, when you said I'm a teacher also, that came in very late. This is not a prepared speech where you can have two stories. So you'll have to come back to the story quickly. Okay, so that's my feedback for you. Again, you used a combination of techniques that was good, but then try to try to stick to one story, or rather try to bring the message from that one story quickly. Okay, that would be much better. So the second speaker, Toastmaster Amir. Amir, you went to the 3-point technique, but you went it almost when the yellow was up. So you really did not have time to close. Were you nervous, Amir? I think you were nervous. So you were speaking a lot. So when you're practicing going forward, try to bring in stories. See, don't be like a preacher who is just telling everything from. So you told some 10-15 times, you said honesty will be very good. Honesty is good for society. Honesty is very good. We already know that. We want to know how Amir realized that. Are you getting it? We
Sure.
want to see. The point here is, see, logic is simple. Funda simple hai. Look at Facebook. You know why Facebook is an app that's there on every phone? Simply because we are interested more in the lives of others than our own life.
Sure.
This is the reason why Mark Zuckerberg is making money. Okay. See, you make a Facebook post or an Instagram post. Do you go back and watch it? No. You will only go and watch the likes and shares for it. Whatever you see that photograph, you will see it only before you upload. After you upload, nobody, you will not see. You will only see whether Ujjwala liked it, Charan liked it, Jahnavi liked it, Sirisha liked it, Subbu liked it, or Sarika liked it. You will not be. And if somebody is not responding within a certain time frame, you will be like, I am the first guy to like the other fellow's posts. Why are they not liking my post? लड़कियों में बहुत ज़्यादा दिखता है. They will fight over it. That आधा घंटे के अंदर मैंने आपका हर post like किया. देखो, last year is so happy that she switched on her video also now and came back. Right, right. So try to tell your personal story. That will make the topic interesting. If you preach, See, if say honesty is the best policy, I can write it on the back of my car also, no? Right?
Yes.
What is the difference between I putting it on the back of my car or last year putting it on her bullet? Last year I saw your D98 story, ma. That was really inspiring actually. So last year putting it on her bullet, or Charan saying that when his boss says why are you late, Charan saying honesty is the best policy. He also can say, he can put it on this. He can say come to my cubicle and see it's always written on my cubicle. No, I don't like it. I want to hear what your story is, how Amir realized it. And you're being honest also. You said your parents will like you when you tell them nice lies. That was nice. That is a nice thing. That's how I also convinced my parents. And when I was of your age, I used to tell them nice lies, and they used to think Subbu Mahan hai. Only when they knew the things later, they pitai tabu, they kambal kutai baad mein. Okay. Anyway, okay. Please tell personal stories. Okay, Amir. Jokes aside. Okay. Now we'll move to the third speaker, Sarika ji. Ma'am, you're very composed, very calm, a wonderful way to start a table topic. The only point was that your story did not complete within the timeline. So when you start with a story, you'll have to finish it within the timeline. Okay. So the point was, I think, how many of us here do running, jogging, anything? Most of the people would do here, no? Running, jogging and all that stuff. So what happens? What happens to any jogger or a runner? What happens is in the first 10-15 seconds after first 10 minutes, no, you'll feel like jogging more. You'll get that high when you do a running or a jogging or a sprint, right? First 5-10 minutes thoda halka hoga. After that 5th minute, you'll get that speed, that gallop, and you'll start going. Your speech was like that today. But the problem is the gallop came in late. Okay. The next time when you're starting it, remember that you only have 2 minutes. You are not able to conclude well today. The story went for so much of time. You're talking about yours. You see, one confusion is fine. Yeah, you can't have the confusion for a long time. See, you're talking about your confusion, your child, the child's confusion, the child's mom's confusion. That's enough for a table topic, ma'am. Have 1 or 2 confusions. That's enough. We know, everybody is impacted. Just make 1 or 2 sentences about it. Quickly move towards your conclusion and tell. See, I heard your speech. I heard that you went and took the decision to go and report it to the authorities. उसके बाद लड़के का क्या हुआ मुझे नहीं पता. You did not tell me how the parents felt about it. So probably you would have told this problem in the first 1 minute, your action in the next half a minute, and in the next 1 minute that you get 1.5 minutes to 2.5 minutes, you have probably told about how the kid later on went on and did well in his life, or how their parents are thankful that you actually took your decision, and then how you realized that honesty is the best policy. In all these 3 speeches, I did not see that realization coming in. That you should try to bring in, because that's your conclusion. The conclusion of every one of you is that honesty is the best policy, and you realize it. But where did you show that realization to me? I'm sorry, I did not see that. Sorry for being blunt, but I am not a guy who can sugarcoat the neem ki goli very well. I give a neem ki goli, I'll tell it's neem ki goli khao. Okay, so I'm not able to sugarcoat it. I'm sorry, I'm not doing an evaluation session here, so I have the anticipatory bail also. So please, wherever all 3 of you, unless your conclusion is coming out strongly, the table topic will not have a lot of wazn in it or a lot of weight in it. Okay, thank you. Any questions? I'm happy to answer for some time, unless if you have time. Otherwise, yeah, I'll give it back to the MC.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Subramanyam. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. So it's fine here. Itna lamba naam kaun yaad rakhega.
Thank you so much. Now, thank you so much for that wonderful comments and feedback. Now, it's a wise person. Sorry, it's a fool who just thinks of learning from his mistakes. It's a wise person who would want to learn from his mistakes as well as others' mistakes. So let us make sure that we incorporate the feedback that distinguished Toastmaster Subbu gave to these participants while we attempt table topics the next time. With that thing being said, I would now like to call onto the stage the minute taker, Toastmaster Ashwin, who's going to summarize for us in 5 minutes what has happened until now. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashwin. Toastmaster Ashwin, please unmute your audio device and then start speaking.
Yeah, before Ashwin takes over, my request to Zoom Master is to enable the chat once again, so that I'll quickly paste the link with the PPT here,
sure,
so that I can okay, and yeah, thank you.
Sure.
So I have pasted the link. You can just click on the link, and there you'll see you can download the file here, and just click on the link that's given there, and you'll be able to download it. Thank you very much.
Toastmaster Ashwin, go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I am Toastmaster Ashwin, and I'm playing the minute taker role for today's meeting. As a minute taker, I have noted all the important points. Here I am to summarize the all key takeaways from today's meeting. Distinguished Toastmasters K.V Subramanyam sir advised us to take the table topic speeches as small speeches. As when you start your table topic speech, you give your speech for 30 seconds perfectly, and then you halt. So to avoid that, what you get the first thought, make it as your final conclusion, and build a story upon that, and have a great conclusion. While you listen the table topic attentively and carefully, it helps you in delivering the speech properly. If possible, try to open your speech with a quote. Reading books helps you in improving your table topics. Try to read generic books, novels, but don't read a one-sided story. Now, these are a few methods told by our trainer: the chronology method, pros and cons method, SPELT method, keyword method, and 3-point method. In the chronology method, you can relate every topic in the chronology method: the past, the present, and future. While you deliver in chronology method, it will have a great impact on the audience. You're telling the past, you're telling the present, future, and you're concluding it. Pros and cons technique. Here, after getting a topic, you can see the pros of the topic and then cons, and then you can conclude it. Now the SPELT technique. This stands for social, politics, education, economy, legal, and technology. Everyone in the audience can relate with these relate these topics with themselves. While you give your speech on social, all can relate it with themselves. While you give your speech regarding the educational point of view, all can relate it, as everyone among us are educated. If one of the person who is giving table topic is a judgmental person, he can give it in support of the topic or against the topic. Now coming to problem statement technique. While the topic is given, you can speak about the topic, and then you can give the solution about that, and then you can have a great conclusion which syncs to what you have spoken. And coming to keyword technique. Now here, these are the two topics. This is just for survival of the table topic, so that you can survive the complete 2 minutes. If you have not gotten any idea regarding the topic, you can pick up any word from the given table topic, such as hope from the soap, hope or soap. You can take up any topic, any word from these two, and speak regarding that. And how our trainer said regarding money, their mentee spoke about the money, what money how she uses her father's money, her brother's money, her future husband's money, and like that. Never get down the stage before the timer shows the red card. Use the complete 2 minutes and entertain the audience. You can relate the topic with your own life's situation. And the 3-point technique method. While you don't know anything, just start with, I have 3 points to say. And while you're delivering the first point, think and generate the second next 2 points. You can relate it with your surroundings or the meeting you're in, relate your experience or your life stories. Remember, these last two techniques which I told are just to survive the complete 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes of the table topic. Sir has given few suggestions. While you're delivering your table topic, just try to put one story in it. If you try to put two or many stories, you will not be able to complete or conclude the table topic within the time. And try to give the personal stories. Last but not the least, always be thankful to your mentor. By this, that brings to end of my report. Thank you, and over to you, moderator.
One second, sorry, I want to just project regarding the spelt. What I meant was that you read your whenever you're reading, you read your topics. You base your reading in such a way that you will be able to analyze these any topic that comes to you in one of those techniques. So when you are reading itself, you read it from a social perspective, or you pick up two areas in that spelt. I gave you like many areas there, so you pick up two areas of your choice. Read in such a way that you'll be able to analyze any topic that comes to you in those lines. So that's what I meant by saying spelt. And sorry, Lasya, I said you did not tell me about the time, but you actually messaged me the time. I did not see it, so I'm really sorry for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Subramanyam. I genuinely understood how is it that I can handle a table topic in a better way. At least I understood why is it that one needs to get married from today's session. Now, fun aside, I would now like to call onto the stage. No, fun aside, I'd now like to call onto the stage Division G's Director, Toastmaster Raviteja Perry for a quick vote of thanks. Over to you, Toastmaster Ravi. Okay.
For a second, I was very happy because you were about to call me distinguished. And then you know the real facts. Thank you so much for it. I was really happy for the fact that I didn't start my day well, but while I was listening to the session, I was continuously laughing while at the same time taking all the lessons from our very own distinguished Toastmaster. So today's day is something that I really would love to cherish because of all the learnings as well as the fun that I had. Having said that, I would like to have the Zoom master to please share the screen for us. I would like to recognize all the people who are behind this particular session today, starting with our very own distinguished Toastmaster and our keynote speaker, K.V Subramanyam sir. I'm sure your session we heard in the past will have a good impact in our present right now and will definitely show great results in future. I hope your spelt is definitely felt because you were socially perfect, politically true, educationally flawless, legally right, and technologically error-free. And if I can add 3 things that I can take away from this session. First one is don't give up, survive. Second one is take care of home first before impressing the streets. And the third one is the best thing that I could have was how honest were you in giving feedback without sugarcoating to the topic which says honesty is the best policy. You took care of the topic as well. That is something I personally love. So thank you so much for this wonderful learning sir today. I really loved your session and I will always remember that. Not to forget, I still remember your 3 pointers technique which you told me for evaluation, which is a sandwich method that usually people call right now. Chandra does that, which is comment, recommend, and comment. I always say this to my mentor too. K.V Subramanyam sir taught me this long back in 2016. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm humbled. Thank you.
Having said that, so there's this person who I call as a multitasker, managing people, unmuting them, sending them to breakouts, listening to session, most importantly, check the session recordings and many more tasks. before, during, and after the session. If this person isn't there, I'm sure it would be very difficult for us to handle this. So thank you so much, Zoom Master, Toastmaster Sandeep, and also for sharing it right now. Your presence means a lot to us.
Thank you very much.
So when we hear the word Sergeant at Arms, it's not just that they open the meeting, but today Sergeant at Arms made sure she opened up with a bright smile. If you want the meeting to start well, you need a person to start with a smile. That is my philosophy. You did that well, and I'm sure you will do it at the end because we all had a great session too. So thank you so much for all your efforts, Sergeant at Arms. This is for you. Every time I see this guy's name, I always run short of adjectives because he already uses everything. And even today, we have seen that. But having said that, his presence will always make everybody feel professional by the way he dresses. And always there is a go-to person when you need him the most. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sharon, for being the MC for today and for all the adjectives. And I learned something new today. Thanks for the word, Master Lemurian Good. So this part is something I won't forget. So as a timer, she always spoke me that when I have to go to my conclusion, when I have to start, when I have to end, when I shouldn't go and go away of time. And in case I did, I should repeat my speech, which I partly gave. But yeah, the point here is she's not just a timer for this meeting. She's a timer everywhere. She manages me as well, in particular to how I must take my time. I'm sure after this call, she will tell me you took too much time for this particular presentation too. But having said that, not just for the timer role, I also would like to thank you for all your efforts behind this particular session. So with this is a certificate of presentation. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashwin. You are the go-to person for somebody like us, somebody like me who missed a bit in between. And you made sure that I could write my points while describing Distinguished Toastmaster at the end, because you did summarize every minute of the conversation that we had. So with this certificate is for you. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Janvi, for attempting table topics. It is a bold move, and to learn something from the session and then to attempt it, you guys have done a great job. Thank you, Toastmaster Amir. The same applies to you. Cannot repeat it right now since we are already short of time. Timer is looking at it. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Sarika, for attempting wonderful table topic, and I'm sure you guys had to have wonderful feedback as well. With this, here ends my time. I would like to hand it over back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Sirisha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ravi. Am I audible and visible? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I would like to thank Distinguished Toastmaster K.V Subramanyam for giving his wonderful insights and tricks to participate in Table Topics contest. You not only gave us tips, sir, but you also inspired us to start Table Topics with our family members first. Thank you so much once again. I would like to thank all our role players without whom we can't have this session smooth at all. And last but not least, a big thank you to our division directors for their support. For everything we do, there will be some room for improvement. Similarly, to improve these educational sessions, we would like to seek your feedback. There is a feedback form published in the chat box. Please provide your valuable feedback for us to improve. These education sessions are not done yet. We are going to have episode 2 of both ISE and Table Topics contest education sessions on 12th and 13th February, same time and same link. Please watch out the space for more details. With that, I would like to hand over the stage to our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Manmeet. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Manmeet.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sirisha. The future belongs to the competent. Get better, get good, be the best. I hope to inculcate all these techniques in my table topic and excel. Wow. I hope all of you have benefited from the session as much as I have. Certainly, our bags are full with tricks and tips. With this, I close the first episode of education session of Table Topic Contest. See you all next Saturday on 13th February, 11 a.m. Same place. Thank you.